Khaos Reigns story Queen Dizzle is revealed, and the FGC has got some issues. Welcome to Double Tap. This is Mash Those Buttons podcast dedicated to the FGC. We are your returning hosts. I'm Crash, of course. We got Static Gorilla and Meza back on the cab. Gentlemen, we're here.
We are. However, pardon my look. I feel like it looks like I've been in the cave for a while. That might be the case,
looks like you've been in the hyperbolic time chamber for quite some time.
But that's okay. If you've seen me stream, you've seen where the hair has grown. I've got what is it? Headphone hair.
We got the comeback going on right now. Meza, how you feeling, dog?
I'm dying.
Besides coming back from
I'm
death,
fighting for my life right now.
We literally resurrected Meza from the dead to make sure he was on the show. But we're back. We're here. This is episode 389, recorded on the 10th. On the 7th of October. I want to say, first of all, before we go in, thanks to everyone that reached out. I know we've been out of it for a bit. Everyone that's come out actually messaged us, tweeted at us, emailed us, Discord, asking us if everything was cool, if we're alive, we're cool, we're good. It's just been a crazy time. I was traveling for work. The scheduling was a little hectic for everybody else. Hey, life gets in the way. It is what it is. It's a 10-0 matchup. We just take care of what we got to take care of, but we'll always be back. But especially at a time when fighting games were just eating, like so much has gone down. But we got a little something for you guys on that I'll bring up later. But let's get started, man. Let's get into it. I want to talk some fighting games. It's been too long. It's been too long since I've been able to do this with you guys. All right, so let's get started with some Khaos Reigns, MK1's big story expansion that just recently dropped, including the new characters of Cyrex, Sector, and Noob Saibot. Disclaimer. I haven't had a chance to play the characters yet. Mm-hmm. I am very vested in the MK story. I'm a big fan of the lore of the story. I grew up with it. Like a lot of people, when they talk about MK, they always talk about the writing on it, because that is something that NetherRealm does a really good job on, right? They raised the bar on it way back even in MK9. Back in MK9, they raised the bar. They definitely brought us something really special, and they've kind of been making it a thing as best as they can in each one. Some people might say some are lesser, some are better.
In MK9, they weren't scared to just be like, you're gone, you stay, you're gone, and you're the new heroes.
And Sindel just kill everybody else.
Yeah, it's like, okay, Raiden, Sonya, Johnny. Boom, that's it. Yeah, humans.
So Khaos Reigns, like I said, is the new expansion. And they brought in the big story, the story that was kind of foreshadowed at the end of MK1 story, when we got to see Havoc come out of the portal with some weird variants. We got the Sub-Zero Quan Chi looking character and all right with them. Not really sure where they were going with it, but we got to check it out. This is strictly on the story. We're just gonna check out the story itself right now. We won't be talking characters outside of what we like seeing.
But that's what was expected, like a more Shao Kahn Havoc or Havoc Khan, because that's what the end of the game was foreshadowing, was all these mixture of like Johnny Cyrax or Johnny Sub-Zero, something, I forgot what the names were.
All these what ifs, right? What if kind of characters. For those that are my comic heads, you know what I'm talking about there. But yeah, they don't do cons. Anytime anyone big comes through, they call them Titans. They're Titan. Yeah. It was Titan Shang Tsung in MK1, Titan Havoc in this one. Titans being just like these powerful beings. I can't remember if they're like supposed to be like stronger than elder gods, or they're like the level right before, whatever it is. But anyway, Titan Havoc, that's what we were going for. But yeah, the story itself, interesting take on the characters. We got to see some specific settings or really events that also went down. Scorpion's wedding, right? With to his wife Harumi. Which I'm trying to think, is this still Harumi in this game? I don't think.
Yeah, he mentioned her name.
Still, okay. Yeah. It's just so weird because it's not Hasashi. Like that was her last name, but it's not Hasashi. It's still fucking, it's Kwang, right?
Yeah. She had, well, we got Cyrex and Sector who are fighting, or just, they're in, I don't want to say chaos, but they're in turmoil with each other. Mm-hmm. And
classic.
When they get to the point where Scorpion can kill Cyrax, it's his wife who convinces him not to.
Yeah, so, you get to see like these little pieces of writing where it's like you see Scorpion or Quagliang, who is this. It's so weird to call him Scorpion because we know it's not Hanzo, but Scorpion having that rage where it's like, I will murder, right, for my family, and then she like kind of pulls him down, and I'm like, okay, there's those truths to that character still there, even though it's not the same character traditionally. There were some beats in there that were really, really cool,
and that for me was honestly the only thread throughout the actual story, in my opinion. Like if we want to do a quick review,
it kind of goes all over the place.
That's the only two characters that sort of had a thread going, where it wasn't even Cyrax Sector. I mean, there's a part where a character, now they go into a different timeline of Havocs, and there are good guys that are over there that you do see, but only one character was sad of a death of a character. The other character didn't even ask him where he was the entire time. So it's like, did you even care? It's like, oh, he's not here.
All right.
Sorry. So I know I'm traveling too fast.
Let's break the premise down. Yeah. So basically, we've seen in the trailer, Bihan still is a piece of shit, which is this, it's still the Elder Sub-Zero, the Grandmaster, all that kind of stuff.
He's a piece of shit, but he can still save Earthrealm.
He could. Yeah.
He still wants to save Earthrealm. So I'm like, what?
Pick a side, bro. Pick a side. So he's got Sector and Cyrax, right? They're his first go-to. I mean, Sector's his go-to, but then he's got Cyrax. They invade Scorpion's wedding. Shit goes down. Then they get captured, and then all this craziness. I'm not gonna go to all the little details there between like the little talks, but then we get to see Havoc show up in the midst of all this, and they actually, he's trying to go after Geras
in Melina's throne, right?
With Melina's throne with everyone else, because they were trialing Sector and Sub-Zero. Taking Geras, from there, Sub-Zero goes after him, so he ends up in Havoc's universe, and the mission is Scorpion is taking Cyrax and Sector to go get him. Right, that's the whole. That's the big thing, because they and also, of course, not to get him, to get Geras. Getting Sub-Zero is like, Scorpion's like, that's secondary. The motherfucker is like making it very clear, like, my mission is to go get Geras. I couldn't give a shit about Bihan, but Sector being Sector, the way they've written her in, that there's, Sector's always had a history with Sub-Zero in some way, whether he's gonna kill him or in even MKX, where he, when he was actually conspiring to destroy the Lin Kuei and take it himself, because his dad was the Grandmaster in the original written time, not in this version of MK and all that. Like they were always intertwined. So they kept it that way, but they just made a twist where now like Sector, it looks like it's like a bit of a love interest there with Bihan. It doesn't like outright say it, but it's like you kind of see it by the actions and all that, and the way it's written. It's like, okay, all right, cool. So we get to see what Havoc's plan is. It's just he needs to harvest from Geras beings, because they've been around multiple timelines, and he needs these time crystals, all because we got Kamidogus, which I was like, holy shit, they're bringing those in, and which are they bring them back, and the Kamidogus are a thing from from Armageddon and all of those that remember that version of MK. Yeah, it's from the 3D actually they're, I think, even earlier than that, but they were a big thing in the 3D MKs, because that's like how you got I can't remember the Dragon King, Onaga. There we go. Onaga, the Dragon King, got unlocked by getting them, and that's where Shujinko's story comes in. That's actually a big part with Shujinko. So I was like, oh shit, Kamidogu's gonna begin to see Shujinko in here. No, nothing like that. They're Infinity Stones. Basically. With all of these, I get all to make reality what combined. I want. I was like, Thanos? Yeah. What's going on here? I'm trying to snap something? So that's like the premise here. That's like the evil plan. And yeah, heroes go in. They're in Chaosrealm. The timeline is interesting because it's all kind of distraught. It's all over the place. You get to see character variation. Chaos. You get to see chaos. Chaos for sure. Chaos. But a lot of Chaos. Mr. Chaos. I'm Dr. Chaos. And we get to see a bunch of like what if characters in there too, right? We get to see enforcers with like Ermac and Reptile, different clothes, different outfits, different drip. And a lot of Havocs all over the place. And we get to see Lieutenant Colonel Johnny Cage, who apparently was fighting Hitler in the 40s. I thought that was a costume. Oh, I thought it was a costume. Like in the trailer, I was like, oh, was he in a costume party? Yeah. I was like, okay, that's funny. No, it's an actual variation of Johnny. Yeah, he was fighting Hitler.
Jonathan Cage. Yeah, it's basically Captain America.
Yeah, basically, it's like a joke on that.
I gotta ask, do you guys ever just feel like they're just doing too much sometimes?
No, I think they need to do more. Is that weird?
Well, when you're bringing timelines, rewriting timelines, now you got multiversal stuff, right? Like at this point, they can write anything, right? They're kind of taking a page out of Marvel's book, and it's like we could just fucking write whatever. And it's like, here's the X factor is it's a different timeline. It's like, all right, cool. You don't get to put yourself in a corner.
My main issue is that there aren't any stakes to it. Like it doesn't feel like there's any stakes because they spent so much time trying to get out of Havoc's timeline with this whole maze thing that it turned into like a mini game maze, and you're like, oh dear. Like now, granted, I did like the growth that they gave the character Tanya of the other timeline, which was dope.
Yes.
Like they really fleshed her out.
Yeah.
A lot.
So the Tanya he's talking about is this Empress Tanya that was also married to Emperor Rain, which was really crazy to see Rain in such a actual nobility, because Rain's always been like, oh yes, I am for you, but he's really a piece of shit. He's gonna betray you later because he wants the throne, right? That's how he's always written. But this time it's like, oh, he's an actual emperor. That they're a couple that took over again, that fought against Li Mei and Reiko. They were like the evil emperor and empress in that one. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But this Tanya, they really focused a lot on this Tanya.
Yeah, she did the most. It's great.
At one point, they had a scene where they just like, they have her that she's like communicating with, I didn't realize this, but the dragon she communicates with in the maze is a dragon from Armageddon as well. It talked to Taven or something like that. Like it was like one of Taven, like, or his brother's dragon or something like that. It's a deep cut. I didn't realize it until I looked into it again. Yeah. But then they do this like what basically felt like a fucking tech demo.
Yeah.
Because it was just like all black and it's just her model and it's beautifully lit. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that shit looks
awesome.
Amazing.
It's really good.
I was like, a part of me was like, damn, bro, everyone like really knocked on Tanya specifically. When MK1 dropped, they're like, oh my God, she's the ugliest character in this whole game. I'm like, bro, they were like, you know, we're gonna give her like a 15 to 20 second shot, and you're gonna be like, is this a tech demo? What am I looking at here? This looks amazing.
There's a scene with her and Rain, and I'm just like, this makeup whatever they have on their facial animations is really superb.
Oh yeah, it was really good. It was really good. I will not knock the quality. It was just like.
But I do want to say Bihan as a villain disappointed me.
Yeah, the entire time, Sub-Zero into Noob, it's like, what happened there?
Yeah, but you do end up using him, and I'm sure I haven't played it. I watched it. I'm sorry, but it did look like it was fun. He did have crescendo moments, but it just ended in a whimper.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the story itself was like pretty straightforward. Bad guy has plan, you can say this for any story, but it really wasn't like too deep. It was like, oh, I have this plan.
To quote,
seven Infinity Stones I need to get to do this and destroy everything. We gotta stop him.
And to cause chaos. It was almost like he didn't want to destroy the worlds. He just wanted for there to be chaos.
He wanted to combine all the timelines, so there would be chaos. That's the big thing. That's what he thrives on.
Oh my gosh, it was 100%. I just to quote one of my favorite YouTubes. It's what's it called? Pitch meeting. It's gonna be super easy, barely inconvenience. Oh really? How? Oh, he's just gonna do this and that'll be the end. Oh okay. And why does that happen? So the movie could happen. Got it. No problem. All right.
Basically, yep. Can't wait for them to tie in the multiverse into the next MK movie.
Wow.
Yeah. So the story was a bit anticlimactic. I expected to get a kind of post credit, like, oh, maybe what the next season is gonna foreshadow into. No, there was nothing. It was just goes to credit. Like I said, Havoc was basic as fuck when it comes to being a villain. Noob was cool. There's a potential future arc there that could be built because they still kind of left it there where it's like, oh, he can be rehabilitated, right? Like he can be better. Like Liu Kang is still trying to play the peacekeeper no matter what the situation. He was beefing with Noob Saibot. Don't know if that's gonna happen. I mean, the arcade endings already for some of these characters, which I got a chance to check out, like kind of continue the story, but like some people get murked in it. But how Mortal Kombat stories are, especially arcade endings. You don't know what the fuck is canon.
Right.
It's all over the place. But maybe, I was hoping, I was like, oh, maybe we'll bring where Hanzo Hasashi actually hits in. I don't know if he's hit any of the endings or anything like that. And I'm like, there's still like a lot to be desired here.
We thought he was going to be Kenshi and still nothing. Maybe he's in the Scream mask. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it was him. By the way, did you see that fatality for that? Where it's two of them?
Yes.
Oh, so good.
Very
Such
good.
a callback.
Yeah.
So good.
And speaking of, the animalities are kind of sick as well. So that came as free, whereas the DLC, all 6 characters plus the story mode was $60. But the animalities are free, plus the new brutalities, of course.
And everybody's getting them. Yeah, everybody's getting them.
But
overall, I think Chaos Reign was a okay story.
Yeah.
Some people liked it. Some people, are a little, I've been seeing like kind of like the reviews on it, or really like kind of like the talks about it. But we want to know what you guys think. We're gonna be putting up a poll. What did you think of Chaos Reigns story, the MK1 expansion? Do you think it was better? Was it peak? Was it not even close? We're gonna put up a couple of options for you guys there to check out. So make sure to check us out, of course, on Twitter, on YouTube, of course, on our Discord as well, to get your vote in. Let us know what you thought about it for those that got to check it out. And you don't have to even play it. Once again, you can just watch it.
Don't let me influence you about Mortal Kombat 9 and Sindel and putting your heel in everybody's head. Oh, sorry.
It was just Jax's neck. It was just his neck. My man.
God.
Besides him, Jay's the only one that got done dirty. She just got something. To this day, I don't know what she pulled out of her. I just know I was like, ooh, that looks really important. And it just, she just dropped it. I still don't know what it was, and I don't want to find out. But what I do want to find out is the fact that we're going to be back after this quick break, guys. When we come back, when we talk about some Tekken 8, as well as, obviously what went down over the weekend with this crazy disqualification over in top 12. But until then, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Chaos Reign is in the books. Make sure the guys vote on the poll as to what you guys thought about it. It's going to be live on all our socials. Let's get into some Tekken 8, though. Mr. Heihachi Mishima, who's dead, not dead, gets slapped across the face, Raven, you fucking liar, is back. And he's bringing some old tricks. Then he's got some new things. I think this character was so designed for heat. For the heat engage mechanic is kind of crazy, but yeah. So he's back. He's we're gonna do a little bit of a quick impression on him because I haven't gotten my hands on him yet. I've been just checking out what people have been posting up, doing my research, just trying to see what the Tekken players are doing, checking out some matches and also character breakdowns, because when I do play him, I do want to really understand like what he's bringing to the table. And guess what? If you know me, you know I like stances. And guess what Heihachi has? He has some stances, or really additional stances. He's had stances before with like what's called Raijin. Like the Raijin stance was like his thing, but now he has another one. They're not calling it Fujin, but it's the Wind God Kamio stance or whatever. But it's just Fujin, like Raijin and Fujin. Yeah, he's got him from a couple of moves that he's coming through where he holds certain directions after him, like down 1+2. If you press forward, you actually get into Raijin stance. If you, I believe, if you press, it's either back or down, you get into Fujin. So he's got some mix-up potential there. He can't block from it. Which, it's funny, as someone who plays a lot of stance characters, I'm like, I accept that.
I think it's fair.
Like whenever a stance character can block, when they get into stance, I think that's like so. I think I go like, wow, this is cheap already.
I think because the notion is like you're full committal, right? You're committing to something that's either going to be super dangerous for yourself or it's going to be really, really like scary for the opponent. I think he's actually really scary now because of how offensive Tekken 8 is. So it only makes him super strong. Like I've seen combos where people are doing like 85% because of this new stance.
He hits like a truck. It's a combination of things. Stances is one thing, but then you have things like, of course, the heat engage, right? Like you're already giving Heihachi already can do damage. Then you give him heat engage, right? Like in this game, and he's just gonna just hit you like a truck. Then he has another mechanic called warrior instinct or warrior stance, whatever it's called. It's like every time you go into heat stance, you get a stock, and once you get into like 3, you get into like this. You'll see it on his fist. Like he has like glowing effect on it, even when he's outside of heat. Now, he gets like access to new moves, 8 new moves, and he creates permanent chip damage. What I mean by permanent chip damage, you know how Tekken 8 now it's like a big gray health battle. Do something. Okay, I took some damage, but I got some gray health. I can get back in some way, shape, or form, right? He removes that. Like he will chip you, but he will chip you and you will not see gray. So it's like your traditional, like your kind of old school just chip where it's like it's just gone. You're not gonna get that back. So that makes him hella offensive, because it also, like you said earlier, you know, when it adds to him having heat, makes you kind of that's like the oppression button right there. It's kind of wild. But as much as I was saying about him being offensive, which he still is, don't get me wrong, he still is. He has some other extensions that are added on. He's got like Akuma like moves, like follow-ups in this game. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to check out any of the moves yet, but he's even got like energy pillars that he hits on. He has like punch, stomp to the ground, energy pillars, like straight up Street Fighter 3 Akuma special going on here. That wall splat and everything. It's kind of gross. But with that, he's like, as much as he's got all this, I just don't think he's as offensive. I think he's more balanced. I'm not saying he can't be offensive. I think he's got, because he's got some, like his it's like 1-1-2 is still like it's -17, so that's punishable. Some of his like specific moves are just gonna leave him in the negative, so it's like a way of just getting around it. And if he's not using heat, like he doesn't have access to like the big damage, like probably that 80% you were talking about earlier, Meza, or 81 or something. 81 I think you can get without heat, but yeah, well, he's relying on it. He's relying on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like characters with stances now, that's what everybody's kind of pretty much got now, has kind of increased the whole aggression playstyle. So it's kind of hard to turn some of them off. I mean, yeah, he still has a lot of mids, but I don't
Electric's a mid. Electric's a mid.
That's still the
PSA. Electric's a mid.
Yeah, I think that's still the wildest thing. I don't think that should be a thing. Whatever. But look, I'm gonna let it rock.
It is what it is.
He's been out not that long.
Yeah.
Who knows if he's even gonna be viable, even with all the characters that are so strong already.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think final notes on it. Like I said, I think he is tricky. Like I said, with stance characters, with all these mechanics, he has a bit more of a curve, a learning curve for those that are jumping in. So the execution of it too is kind of what's gonna help keep that balance, because it's tricky. Because you have to learn really well with him as to like how to confirm on a crouching opponent versus a standing opponent on a lot of situations. You have to like recognize that. So that's so much just hit confirming, but like, did I hit confirm you while you were standing? Am I hit confirming you when you're crouching? Because that leads to two different avenues, which is like just bonkers for me. The more I went down this rabbit hole, the more I'm like, oh my God, Tekken players are insane.
They are,
like, in a good way. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just like, holy shit, bro. Like that is so much to really deal with. And you got a Z axis. I'm not built like that, guys. I don't think I'm built for it. I don't think I am. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. But the other thing I gotta keep a buck is what is going on with Tekken World Tour. So if you had a chance to check out this weekend's event, Thaiger Uppercut, a really good event. It's been around for quite some time. Just like many of the international events out there, there's always some good matches to go on. But this one has gotten two things going for it. One, shout outs to Ja for this particular post where there was a actual article about it saying that all but 3 characters saw play in top 64 at the event, which is awesome. That in itself is like something we could spend a whole lot of time talking about, but it just goes to show how the character balance kind of is, or how universal everyone, maybe the mechanics really affect all these characters where they make them viable. I mean, in top 64, that's no slouch. I actually don't know what size Tekken event this was, dojo event this was. I want to say
it was a world tour.
Master. It's a world tour, but I don't know. I would think it's a Masters then, probably, because there's only like one Masters plus. There was only 2 Masters plus, and I believe it was both the Evos. But yeah, we got to see everyone. The only characters we didn't get to see are Paul, which that is surprising. I am actually very surprised that we didn't get to see a Paul in top 64. Raven and Leroy. That's it. Technically Panda and Xiaoyu, but they were being used as secondary, so they counted them, it seems. But everyone else got to see some play, with the most being King.
I believe this was one of the last master events.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. That makes sense though. So yeah, so the event went off, and I don't want to say without a hitch. Actually, this event's kind of now been getting looked at a lot. Not for the TO side. I think it's just on Bandai Namco as well as to like why this went down. But it's like a two-way street. So Arksys, which is an 18-year-old player that came out there. I believe, I can't remember what character they play. But they came out got top 12 in the bracket. If you can find out for me how many people were in that bracket, Static, you can look that up for me.
I was looking it up before because my friend was actually over there, Geobron, for a different game. But go on.
Oh, gotcha. So shout out to the homie Gio. So yeah, they got top 12 and then got disqualified, which is fucking crazy. Like you making it to top 12 and getting disqualified. You think, oh my God, what did he do?
He cheated? No.
Who did he hit?
Right.
Who did he throw a stick at?
Exactly.
What did they do? Oh, you're a China representative. You can't play TWT. You can't actually qualify. You actually shouldn't even be here. It's the rules. China, there's a couple of other places that just are not eligible. He is a Chinese representative for, so somehow he made it through the registration line. I don't know if that's what we're trying to understand where the facts are here. Some people are saying, oh, they lied or he got through. Some other Chinese competitors have actually tweeted about it that like, yo, he made it through, like he's actually competing. But I've also seen that other TLs have had competitors come out, but they can compete, but they're under the understanding that's like, hey, you can compete, but you're not gonna get points because you're just not from an eligible region, and you're not gonna be on stream. So making it to top 12 at that point, I don't know exactly what the schedule is going to be, but if he made one more, then he's already in the top 6. He's already in the top 16, so chances are he's going to be on a stream station. There's just no avoiding it. But no, he got just shut down on the spot.
234 entrants, by the way.
200 out of 234. Mm-hmm. That's not bad. That's not bad. So a lot of people are upset over him getting like DQing for not being eligible, or DQing for whatever the reason. If you broke the rules, okay, understandable. But the fact that he got DQ'd so far in, is what people are flagging.
That, and for me, I mean, obviously, maybe the rules aren't clear. So that means that either StartGG wasn't informed about the rules, or that the rules weren't clearly posted to StartGG. So you can, if let's say you have the rules are clear, but you didn't. I don't know. There's something you have to find in the registration processes beforehand to determine why it was able to within your rules not to. But if somebody is already in the tournament, I mean, you're also screwing everybody else who he just beat to get there.
Let me give you a little insight too. One, he plays Lily. Two, he played day one in pools. So they should have known. Like this isn't like he was on stream.
They should have known long ago when he registered. Like I mean, hold on.
That could slip through.
I'm gonna be a really huge devil's advocate right here. If Evo can message Infiltration early on, or whoever it was, whenever he wanted to register for those events, if somebody had emailed him when he registered for those events that he couldn't compete, they could have done it the same for this competitor. But at the same time, what's wrong with? We're still not clear as to what's the actual matter with him competing or not.
Yeah, I've heard talks that it's because if they included China in the region, that there's like something that has to do with the rules, or there's like some changes to not the format, but there's some red tape that goes with it, and that's why it's not
a specific location.
Wouldn't it even be monetary?
Well, I feel like it would fall under a location situation where
I'm not 100% sure.
We're not lawyers.
This is we're not lawyers for one. Yeah, this is not legal advice in any way, shape, or form. But this is one of the reasons why it's been getting a lot of attention, because there's confusion. It's like, why is that a thing? Because people are memeing it like, China's not part of the world, right? Like, but at the same time, it's like, it's a two-sided coin right there, because like you said, the TL should have known from the rip. And even if they did, why would they let him? Why did they let him go? Because I mean, I forget my ignorance. I don't know the player like that. I don't know his history. But like, if he was already like a killer, it's an 18-year-old that's out there fucking doing so well. What you were gonna take on the risk that he makes it, or were you just going like, oh, he won't make it? Like, you don't know. So either you're doing ignorance, or you're feigning ignorance in two different degrees. Ignorance of not knowing your own tournament that you're running, whether it's Bandai Namco not looking at things or recognizing competitors or the TOs themselves, or you're ignorant in going like, oh, he's not gonna make it, so it's not going to matter. Is like, they're both really shitty situations. So we're trying to understand why that is, but that's unfortunately what went down. So he got disqualified at 12th. He was not going to be able to make it. It sucks, dude. It's heartbreaking because I heard that he was even like, as soon as he found out, he was just like crying about it. Like, yo, like, I cannot believe this is how I go out, which I would be too. I think it's crying out of frustration, but dude, it is really heartbreaking. The Tekken community has like, gone out and been like, yo, even reached out to Harada. Like, yo, please fix this. And Harada has actually said like, okay. Bandai Namco has like stated in there they disqualified him. They do not reside in any eligible country under Tekken World Tour regulations. Although we did our best to explain the circumstances to the player and follow the official rules, this led to the unprecedented situation.
But your rules weren't followed from the start. That's what I mean. Like there were like, did you? Because there's a difference between being like, oh, hey, if you do play, you can. You're not going to get points, and you're not going to be shown on stream. It's an oversight.
I feel like if he would have known that would have been a different case. But I feel like, yeah, it just never made it there. So right now it's kind of like on edge as to if we're going to get any other official statements from Bandai Namco or Harada or anybody else on that. We'll just have to see, but it is heartbreaking. But hey, you know what? Take it on the chin. You did very, very well. A lot more people are definitely going to be looking out for your name in any bracket moving forward. I don't know if you're going to take that as a good or a bad thing.
He's like, I'm going to move to the next town over. Okay. No.
Yeah, exactly. I live over here, dog. Come on.
What doesn't make sense is I'm actually looking at the actual current regulations and rules right now as we speak. Mm-hmm. And it literally says players will be ranked on their performance in their 2 best performances in a major event and the best 4 performances from dojos. A player is allowed to enter any number of major events and dojos. So first off, the fact that you're even saying that, means it's wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have to go by what they're saying. And even if I follow up with what they're saying afterwards, it says a player is allowed to enter any number of major events and dojos. The top 2 ranked player of each region will qualify for a European Tekken Cup finals.
Regions, dog. Qualifying regions. If he's from China, China's not.
That's not his region. So then but it states that you can enter any major event. He's getting points for his region.
If you are in an eligible region,
it does not say if.
I'm telling you.
Here's the thing: you got Arslan Ash in there. You have John Ding in there. You got. Let me see. I'm looking at the top 24. There's just other players from other regions.
Yeah,
but
you got Sour Piggy there.
Shadow 20.
How does it apply though?
So Shadow.
No, but what? It's the regions they represent. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's a Chinese player. There is no China representative. There is no China region.
Oh, you're saying that region doesn't exist. So
how doesn't exist? Exactly.
So what the fuck is he supposed to do? Let's be real here. What location is he under? Wouldn't it be under the same as Korea and also the same as Japan?
Where's your mail at? Where are you getting your bills at?
Just saying.
So that's where.
Next time he has to put Earth.
That's what
Gaia. No, I am from the core.
But like, thinking about that, he would be in the. I don't even know if you could say it's the Southeast Asian region, but he would be in the Asia region, so he would be qualifying for something closer to wherever he is. Right? Technically, you would put him in a category in talks of wherever the location of China that he's in, whatever is closest to him, whatever he's closest to, you would deem him into that region. If you don't have a China region, which is insane to me, because like at the end of the day, you do have Chinese players. Like, that's just not an uncommon thing. If Zhao Hai was like, I want to play, he can't claim a region. He might, like, that's stupid, man. So they just did that to a kid. I'm sorry. I have to stand strong on this. Whether the kid knew the rules or not, you told everybody that they can play in each major event to qualify for their specific region. Well, like, to gain points for the region. Even if he's gaining points for an empty region that doesn't exist, he still should be allowed to do that. You shouldn't be able to take him out.
He's allowed to. Yeah, well, that's what I said. That these are the rules, my man. They said you can't be on stream. So they're like,
I don't understand why they would say he can't be on stream.
They weren't about to jeopardize. They were not about to jeopardize the broadcast.
Sorry. Well, they'd be like conflict of interest, right? Now China's gonna come screaming at us. Why didn't we put a region for China? Well, I mean,
might change next year. We'll see. But
stupid.
we don't know. We're not Bandai. We're not Bandai Namco. We'll just have to see. In the meantime, if Arksys just keeps his chin up, keeps on grinding, I'm sure we will see him again.
In other words, again, oversight. They didn't enforce the rules when it was important to, until the last minute.
It's like I said, yeah. There's definitely multiple people at fault here. All right, so with that, guys, we're gonna be jumping into some other quick announcements we've had. We talked earlier about a bunch of announcements that went down since we've been gone. One of them was here. This was actually still luckily not too far along the road, a little bit over a week. Hey, Arc System Works, right? At Tokyo Game Show went down. We got our first look at Queen Dizzy, a really fast one. We only got 35 seconds of her actual in-game intro, where she actually got to check out and you get to see Soul pull up. I don't know the full translation, but I do know a little bit of Japanese because I've watched enough anime. She definitely called Soul father, which is crazy that they acknowledge it. It's kind of insane.
Weird.
And we actually get to see, her all, in her getup and all that, right? Which got people tripping about, by the way.
Right.
They're like, oh my God, they're just covering everything up. I'm like, guys, like she wore stuff like this in like Rev 2. Like she was already queen then. She was already regal then. This is
she
nothing
looked like
new.
a nun before too, and some of the
say it like it is. They're just horny dogs. All right. We're not going to sit here and pretend like they're not. They want what they want.
Listen. I just want equality. If Anji could have his fucking quadruple D's out, like it's okay for girls to put.
No, you got
biking.
biking. What do you mean?
I'm just saying. Oh, you know what?
Did you say Anji? Did you say Anji?
Yeah. First
you
of all,
mean
Anji has
6-pack or 7-pack?
Anji definitely has a bigger chest than anyone else in the game. No, but you're absolutely right. In a game that Biken survives in, or
I just meant you have Biken.
No, I'm just saying in general, like that's like kind of the hypocrisy that people are like, oh, it's like they're going woke. It's like, guys, we literally have biking.
Well, I'll put it this way.
It literally, like, that's all I have to show you. I have 2 good reasons why.
As a Dizzy player, I think it's fine. Y'all just ask him.
Yeah, it's fine. No, but you know what's
it's
funny?
Fine. She's also a married woman.
This has also brought up a big thing for me that I'm like still wondering why Arksys doesn't do it. Is like, where are the costumes, Arksys?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like, where are the fucking costumes, dog? All love to the modders, by the way. All love to the modders, because that's where we get our costumes at. But Arksys, you would be making a killing if you went like, here's this version of Dizzy. Classic Dizzy, $5. You would make so much money.
No, it's okay. 2XKO got that cool.
Yeah, apparently they're the only ones thinking about it. Like, these characters are very much, celebrated. Like, give me an Order Soul. Give me a classic Kai with the long hair. Give me what else do we got here? I don't know what else we got. Classic Viking. Give me a Robo Kai skin. Give me a bald, Mr. Dr. Bald guy. Like,
well, we do have a goatee on Johnny.
We have a goatee on Johnny,
and you can take it off.
A mask on and off with Jacko.
Yep,
that's it.
And Asuka can change his name.
Yeah. Asuka Sharp. It still gets me. But yeah, so we got to see Dizzy, which is cool. She is coming out this month. Actually, she is coming out on Halloween, end of the month. We're gonna get her. So we'll see if she is. We're gonna more than likely see some gameplay trailers and some gameplay explanations as to see if she gets to put as much stuff on the screen as she used to, zoning the shit out of you and fighting you from the other side of the screen. So just like Asuka, maybe she'll be an anti-Asuka character. Who knows? But that wasn't the only thing we got a chance to check out. With this update, we're also gonna be getting a couple new things, including Chip is getting a new move, Tightrope, and Tightrope Run. I don't know what to think about this. So basically what he does is he puts literally a rope across the screen, horizontal, just around super jump height, and he can run on it, like above it or below it. And I'm like trying to understand how this is gonna change things up. There's gonna be some gimmicky stuff, but I think there's gonna be some dirt here. But I'm like, Chip is like, unironically, he has some of the hardest art that has ever been done for the game. But he is like the goofiest character. He is just the goofiest character. And I don't know when that happened, but it happened. And this tightrope just feels like it's emboldening that. Yeah. But it looks cool. At least they're trying stuff. I mean, I can't knock them for that. Kind of getting a little bit of Answer feels here for those that played Answer in what is it, Rev 2?
Yeah, it almost feels like they're trying to make it easier for players to wall ride or to wall climb. And
yeah,
I mean, if you haven't already gotten it by this time, 3 years later, I don't know what to say.
Daisuke's here to give you, literally hand you a rope to do it.
It was kind of went under the radar, but there was another announcement about the anime that there is the voice actresses for Alfeld and for Ramlethal. They were there to promote that there will be in it as well.
They showed, I think, two shots of the characters, like just face shots of the characters in the anime of some way. It doesn't give anything away, but yeah, they're gonna be there, Ramlethal and Alfeld. So sweet, the story's expanding. It's gonna get a little bit bigger, but not just that. We also ended up getting an announcement that the team of 3.
Oh yeah.
The team-based mode that they've been working on for like ever is getting a second beta that's going to be coming out on the 8th of November. So make sure to check that out. It's going to be going from the 8th to the 11th. They've got a bunch of changes done to it. You can do 1v3, 2v3, or 3v3. So you no longer need to have 3 homies with you. I'm going to miss the days of the funny names. I'm sure they're still going to happen where the teams have just wild ass names that all make sense. They're all themed. That was great. Liquid Snake, Solid Snake, Solid Snake. That was hilarious. That was a great team to fight, and they were all souls. I can't wait to get DP'd 3 different ways. Pause. Yeah, it was announced, and I'm stoked because I'm glad that they took a lot of the feedback and they're gonna push on it. And I think they saved this mode by letting you be 1v3 or 2v3. I think they straight up saved the goddamn mode because of that. Because I was like, yo, this is dope, but I don't always want to play with people on my team. I don't always want that. Let me just rock with my 3 characters. Let me get my assist. You know, it's kind of been a thing for a while, right? It's nothing new, but let me have the option.
Dre just doesn't want to play with me. It's okay.
Give the options to the players. No, dog, you didn't say me that one time, and I'm still holding you to that shit. Yeah, like all you had to do was mop a punch. That's all you had to do.
It's also you can't guarantee a win if you're playing with somebody you can't communicate with.
Also that, yeah. Even when we were playing with randoms, right? Like, and it's like, you know, we don't know if they're in sync. They're just gonna go in or not.
Never again.
Never again. He's like, yeah, you suck. You stay in the back. You're just gonna assist me. But we get a chance to try it out now. So hopefully these new adaptations to the team of 3 end up working out. And like I said, I think it will end up being in a much better way. I just hope they fix certain things like being able to smack people from assisting you. Because those shits were basically combo breakers. It was so busted. It was so busted.
Fire floor was nuts.
Fire floor was broken.
Flame carpet, whatever. Yeah.
All right. So with that, we're actually gonna be taking a quick break, guys. We'll be back after this. We've got some indie game love to give, and as well, we're gonna got a good discussion with some problems going on in the FGC. So you want to stay tuned for all this. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, we are back again. So, Coreupt. We've got the game Coreupt is the demo is out. They actually got released a couple of days ago. We have covered this indie game before. You know us. We love us some indie developers. It's the lifeblood of trying things in fighting games for real. The demo is out. It's live out on Steam right now. We covered it before. It kind of has some similarities from just presentation wise without playing it. Kind of give you some KI feels to it. There's mad combos in it. The game looks amazing. It's like this futuristic cyberpunk kind of sci-fi feel to it. The characters look great. The music for the trailer was kind of bopping. Like it had like really good dynamic camera angles and movement to it. I was kind of like digging it for like an indie. I was like, yo, this is looking really, really good. But how's the gameplay? Well, one out of the 3 of us got a chance to sit down and check it out. So we're gonna get their first impressions. It's just gonna start with an M, ends with an Eza. So Mez is gonna break it down for us and let us know, what do you think about Coreupt?
For a demo, I think they started it off right. There's rollback online play, which everybody loves.
The baseline, baby. You gotta have it. No rollback, no play. You know how it goes.
They have that. They also have quick play, so you could just jump in and just start playing against other people. Granted, right now it's mostly hardcore Discord dedicated because not a lot of people, I would say, know enough about it. But it's still building up to that point. The developer, he's very in tune. He listens to what everybody says, in a sense of like he likes to hear the negative feedback and the positive feedback.
Of course.
So that's been pretty cool. He's also very communicative with us as well. The thing is, though, he didn't expect his game to kind of be busted. But if you look at the game, you're like, this game is going to be busted. So
Son, that trailer already, like they posted a trailer 5 days ago announcing the demo, and I was like, oh yeah, sweet, that looks good. Oh, we got triangle, tri-dash is here. We've got some crazy range. We got crazy speeds here, showing off the different characters. But I was like, bro, these combos are fucking going on forever.
Yeah, they do have touch of deaths.
But from what I understand, they got burst as well. Burst is a thing here.
They do have burst, but good luck. Because once people have resources and you burst, it's just like Guilty Gear. You're holding that combo. So some people might make you burst early and then have all the resources for the next round and just delete you completely, or bait for it. So it feels like solo Marvel a little bit, because you're doing so to kind of explain the button layout, they have like A, B, C, D, just like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So you have the light, medium, heavy, and then launcher. But what makes it interesting is there's no canceling. You don't get to cancel like special move, and you could cancel move and an attack into a special move, but there's no mechanic for canceling. You have to just have, it's kind of like Marvel, you have to just know this has a lot of hit stun, and then it's gonna combo into this. But the cool part is it kind of dates back to how X-Men vs. Street Fighter was, where you could do these combos in the air, knock them down, and come down and hit them, because some of the characters have, generally most characters have hard knockdown. They all have hard knockdown, but they also have I don't even know how to call it. I don't even want to call it a hard knockdown. It's almost like a delayed knockdown where they get hit on the ground, but you could still do a special move to relaunch them into more. And then certain supers allow you to go into an even longer combo. It just kind of gets a little wild and wonky and wacky. I think it's cool though, because if you're looking for something fun to play with the friends, you could kind of mash it out. That's really fun too. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the game is fast as hell. So I'm just like, oh, I gotta slow down. But you can't slow down because that's how the combination is in the game.
Who are you playing?
Beretta. She is
that's Miss Pink, right?
Yeah, she's the girl.
Yeah. Okay, I saw
she's
that.
Cool.
Yeah, she's
cool.
Dude, in the trailer, she is stomping the ground. The character she's juggling is like a foot above her head, and yet the stomp on the ground is hitting. I saw that. I was like, that's a broken hitbox. That's all I needed to see. Not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just like, I know the nonsense I'm about to walk into as soon as I download this.
Who's the chick that's like Goro? But she in Mortal Kombat, Shiva. So wait, so I'm gonna combine something. It's like putting Shiva and She-Hulk together. That's the character you're playing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know it sounds
you're
weird.
You're just putting She-Hulk and She-Hulk together, which gives Shiva. No, She-Hulk is that.
She has She-Hulk's run into the clothesline. Cancels? She has the clothesline. Okay, I haven't figured that out yet, but you can cancel so you could hit into like clothesline, which will do a crumple. You have a command grab out of it. You have a slide. She's so cool. But you also have a situational command, situations where you could do command grabs. She has an air throw. She has all these cool things. She has a grounded to the air command grab. There's a lot of characters that are just insanely cool, especially the main character. So
So we got 4 characters, right, that you get to pick from. Characters. You got Gatling. You've got Winry.
Yes,
you got Destroy. My man's name is just Destroy with the Omega symbol, which is nuts. And then you've got Beretta.
Yeah. A lot of people right now have found everybody except for, to my knowledge, I haven't seen a Beretta TOD, but they're trying to figure out how to do, all the other characters are figured out except for Winry, where they're so close to touch and deathing people with her. That's where everybody's.
Winry's if you gave Cammy Noelle from Blaze Blues kind of guns and her movement, but then keep Cammy's kit with it. Is what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, I would even say
that's gross.
She's equivalent to playing MVCI's.
Who? Gamora, thank you.
Yeah,
I was
she
wait,
feels
no,
like that.
This plays like an MVCI character. Who is it?
Feels like it. It's kind of insane because I was like, oh, you can just shoot people from anywhere and confirm into stuff. That's kind of insane.
Into stuff. That's bonkers.
But
we got that Dante styling.
They do have great movement in the game. I think that's probably the most enjoyable of the game. You have wave dashing like Marvel. You have back dashing, wave dash backwards like Marvel. You have air dashing like you were saying. the movement, what makes it very interesting. Now, granted, I play it. I hope he fixes this. I will state this to him. I play on a widescreen monitor, so the characters are touching the life bars, and it feels like I'm zoomed in, kind of like KOF 12, which we never talk about. Yeah, we never talk about KOF 12. It feels like that, where you're zoomed the hell in. But ultimately, on a regular screen, it looks proper. It looks really good, proper. So that's my only gripe with the game. Other than that, I think it's a solid game, and you also can see the other characters that are to come, which I think is dope because most of the time, it's just blank, right? You see any other fighting game, they're either no slots for them, they're blank. This game, he has all the characters. Silhouette. And quick tidbit, he actually said this in his Discord. He said, "I just made these characters when I was younger, and I never thought to see them on a screen. So it was really cool to just see everybody just doing stuff with the characters I made as a kid." So that speaks volumes when, he's already been planning to do something with this, probably maybe a few years ago. But before, he was just like, oh, these are cool characters that I came up with. And now there's something real for him. So, he's getting to live his dream, I feel.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So once again, if you can, go check it out. That's Coreupt, the Coreupt. Not spelled the regular way. It's just core as in like the core, then up UPT.
I almost forgot the key thing. The music is fucking fire. Guys, I'm going to say it clear as day. Now my voice is shot. The music is fucking fire. Like, from the moment.
I'm digging it.
Dude, I felt like I was going back in time to CVS2 to MVC2. I had everything all accumulating. It's crazy.
Kind of has some tracks. Make sure to check out Team Coreupt on YouTube, so you can check out the trailer, check out the gameplay. Also, check out some of those tracks that Mez is talking about. It does have some of those uploaded there for you guys to listen to. I'm definitely going to be jumping on it. I'm going to definitely get my thoughts on it next week, just to close things out. But it does look like a fun game. And you know what? Hey, this is the feedback you're going to want to have as a developer, just putting it out to the masses. Let people break it. Let people go nuts on it. So that way you can make it even a much better product when you actually get it to version 1.0, when you actually release it. But shout outs to them. Shout outs to Team Coreupt on making that work out. I'm super stoked, and it's a really awesome story. You said that it's like it's characters that they came up with as a kid. Now people are actually, now it's an actual tangible thing where they actually see people playing it. It must be an incredible feeling. Can't even describe that. But yeah, shout outs to them. Shout outs to the team that are working on it. Can't wait to see more from these guys. With that, let's jump into our little discussion here. That's it for the news on this one. But actually, before we can jump to that, one thing to plug in. We've been gone for a minute. I don't know if you guys noticed. We've been gone for a minute. There was a lot of things that went down, and there are some things that obviously we haven't talked about it yet on this episode. We have a bonus round episode coming out for you guys. We recorded it to just go over a couple other things that we didn't get to put it on the show. We're probably going to be seeing a bunch of these bonus rounds coming out in the future. Just a PSA there for some extra things for you guys to listen to check out, some topics that maybe we want to talk more on. Maybe we want to talk a little bit more of the MK1 story and what were the faults on there, and some more details that you guys don't get spoiled on here on the regular podcast, or maybe we're talking about Terry and Capcom and SNK's history and the crazy collabs going on. Spoilers. That's what one of the bonus rounds are going to be releasing this week will be on. So if you want to hear about us talking about Street Fighter and all that, that's going to be the one to listen to. But that will be out as well. So make sure to stay tuned for that. We're going to be tweeting it out and all in the future this week when that comes out, and we'll have more to come. We got plenty of fighting game stuff to talk about, man. Just because we're gone doesn't mean we don't want to talk shop. It's been too long. I've been looking at it from the outside in, and that kind of is what brought us to our next topic. Because we've been out for a little bit, like I said, traveling, working. Just some of us have still been able to stay pretty close, compete, maybe win some tournaments. Shout outs to you, Static, for your win this week.
It was I'm in Marvel 3.
Hey man, it's a dub. I don't give a shit.
Win's a win.
Right.
Start.gg will say that as a win, and you're gonna get seated appropriately. So
yes. Second in Marvel too. That was cool.
So what I wanted to bring up is a really cool article, or rather a question that gets put up. Us, we're always around your Reddits, your Discords, Twitter. It's a community, so people are always having discussions, and we love hearing about it. We always love talking about it as well. This question came up out in our fighters. I think the user
deleted,
no longer exists, which is interesting. But it was a really cool question, which is, what do you think are the biggest problems with the FGC that exist outside of the game. So we're not talking balance. We're not talking about like, X Factor was the problem. Comeback mechanics were the problem. No, we're not talking about gameplay mechanics. We're talking about us as a community, because it takes more than just the games. The games are, don't get me wrong, the games are a core part of it, but the people are just as important of a part of it. And when you have a bunch of people with different opinions or different walks of life, you tend to, sometimes there are some issues, some things kind of get built up over time, especially for as old as the fighting game scene is, and the history it has. It's been known for a couple of issues. So we're just gonna go through a couple of notables here and just get some discussions going with you guys. I want to hear from it. Off the rip, we're just talking about Discords and all that. One WJ Tears L post up saying, lack of a real forum. Nothing is permanent. It's either Reddit threads, ironically posting in a Reddit thread, or Discord chats. That at the mentality of the new and old players. That I'm not sure about that last sentence, but the fact that there's no forum, no single hub. I mean, Event Hubs is a spot. There are comments and all that, but there's no forums there to my knowledge. Shoryuken is not a thing anymore, right? Like, you remember the old Shoryuken days? Those forums were like the spot to go to. They were referenced and still referenced, and I believe they're archived, right? At this point, I believe they're archived. They're archived at this point.
I'd hate to look back at what I was saying.
But there's no, I think what they're trying to get us, maybe there's just no center hub for things like this, for these kinds of discussions. It's always so spread out. A part of me feels like, it's nature of it. Like, it's not, the fighting game scene has always been unique in a sense that it's not just one game, right? It's not just one game. Everyone's, there's so many games that make up the community itself. So it's really, really difficult to put a single spot. And you can just say like, well, just a forum, Crash. It's not that fucking hard, stupid. You're right, but then it's also getting people to go there and making that the spot, right? It needs to be done by the people. You can't just put up a site and be like, this is the spot where everyone needs to go to. It might happen, right? It might not, right? It might not either. Chances are it probably won't. There's got to be a reason why people flock to it. But yeah, like, a forum like that, you can't, it's really difficult because it is so many games that make up the scene. Like, League of Legends, if you were to type that up, you'd find a single hub where it's like people posting up like builds of characters and metas and this and that for like a single character. And they have, 100 something champions. Like, there's like a hub for that, for the tech. Here it's like, you got to be following this monster on Twitter that gets posted in this Discord that is from this one Reddit thread. It's all over the place. It's really tough. Some places do a good job, but they can only do it for so much, right? Like Dustloop, right? It's a good example, but that's like for information. This is not a forum. This isn't a place of discussion. A Double Tap Discord is a pretty good spot to do it. Mash.gg/Discord. Make sure to join us there. But like, what do you guys think? You think like a Shoryuken needs to be a spot to make happen, to make us whole?
Well, it's but the problem is that fighting games have so many different genres now that it have to fall into. At that time, I remember going to forums, something community, something locals or tournaments and guides or something. And local Philadelphia. I saw anything Philly, blam. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna go there. Where's it at? Done. But now it's like, yes, there's a lot of different ways and places to go, but we've already exhausted all of our resources through Facebook. We've already exhausted all of our like Twitter, whatever. Like, nobody's gonna put an event on Twitter, but like even more, it's almost windowed down to group chats. And
it's group chats and Discords now. That's really what it is.
So no, I agree. I think I agree with this take that there's no database, there's no hub, there's no place where everyone can go to for each of their games. You just have to almost be in the, and I'm not saying it's underground now, because there's obviously a lot of people that are watching through YouTube that are trying to get into it, and there's a lot more online play. It's just when it comes to local, some people just don't know where to go. Yeah,
it's tough. There's documents out there that literally break down per region
and I think people will find them if they search hard enough. Yeah.
But it's tough, right? Like you have to be lucky to find the link, right? It's not like just a center spot to get this kind of information. You just have to be at a certain Discord, and hopefully a power user or a good community member decides to actually post it up somewhere and just be like, oh, hey, if you ever want to find it here, or if it's in the notes or a pinned message that you decide to look at. Yeah, it's a little different.
Meza had something real quick.
No,
what you got?
Oh, okay.
I just felt like I feel like we don't have a source like that. Discords aren't the same. Like you could
they're
try
the closest,
to
but they're not the same. Yeah.
You can kind of emulate it, but it's something that's like special about it. But I found myself run to Reddit, so I think that's the second closest thing. But it's still not the same because there's a lot of mess there. But I mean, that's forums. Forums always have messes in it too. So
yeah, a part of me at the same time also feels that way, where like I feel like we do have it. It's just, once again, we don't just have a central one. Like there are some subreddits that are just universal, like R Fighters, where this was posted up at. R Fighters is just that. It's just fighting games. Doesn't matter. They do have plugs on the right. Be like, oh, are you into Tekken? Go, here's the Tekken subreddit, which is like the equivalent to like being on a forum. Like here's the Tekken forum page or thread for this. It's like I'm like spiritually I feel it's the same at the same time, but like I don't know,
it feels like it's missing something.
Yeah, there's just something there that's just not putting it all together. But it's I think it's close. It's just, I think it's a matter of time before somebody builds a subreddit that everyone's just going to be in for everything. It's never safe, dog. It's the end of the dog. It's never safe. It is never safe.
The thought counts.
Poop Sandwich says, I think it's the FGC's lack of perception when it comes to getting new players in. They expect players to lose a lot to get into the games, which most games don't force you to do, because generally the player base for popular games is big enough that it lets you learn at your own pace while letting you win. Accepting losses and learning is good advice for people who are already invested in fighters, but not for those who are coming in casually. I'm hoping 2XKO is popular because of its free-to-play, which is being free-to-play will drive players to try it out before spending up to $70 on it, and hopefully it will raise the interest in fighters as a whole. Good take. I like the they're not wrong, actually. Like I think fighting games still are. I think we're just now working even harder. I mean, the developers clearly are. They want to always expand the base, right? They want to sell their goal is to sell as many units, and they need to they have to attack certain vectors to help make it more welcoming for new people to come in. And new blood will always be what makes a community continue, right? Like people will get old, people will retire, people will stop playing. You need to have new players in. Your games need to be able to put in new players in order to continue the health of your scene and of your games, right? 2X is definitely trying to tackle that, right? With the idea of like, playing together for one, right? You're burdening the burden of that loss is now 50-50. If you're playing with someone, that's already going to make people feel better about that. And like I said, it's like when you take a test at school and you fail, but then you realize your homie got like 1 point less than you or one more than you, and they both fail, and you don't feel as bad. You're like, yeah, we fucking suck. See you in detention, dog. See you in tutoring class.
I've actually been there.
See you in tutoring, dog. Yeah, we'd be the best of friends. 2XKO is attacking with that, and things like execution, right, are vectors that are been common to being a place to prevent new players from coming in, because they're like, oh my god, I don't want to spend 50 hours in training mode before I feel I'm confident enough to even fight somebody. Spoilers, even 50 hours in training room, you're still not going to be confident until you start getting your butt kicked. It sucks. That's just the nature of the games right now, because like it is 1v1 in some aspects. It's mostly 1v1, so it is just you, so you will just have to deal with the loss. But there definitely needs to be I think there needs to definitely be more emphasis on the new players. It doesn't mean we have to like kill our identity or anything like that, or make the game simpler. It's not a matter of that, because I hate that argument of like, oh, they keep making it simpler now. Joe Blow Spumoni's going to come up and now the top 8s are going to be anybody. They've said that for so many games, and guess what? The people that are making the top 8s, the top 16s, top 4s or winning are the same people that are going to do it for the next game. Like, are there going to be new blood? Yeah, but it's not going to be like just because the game's easier. It's never going to happen. That's just not going to be a thing.
It's actually funny because I deal with this on a daily basis with a smaller community where it's hard to get new players in, but we've figured out a way outside of what 2XKO is doing, because 2XKO is kind of like, actually, you know what? I will say we stole that idea. We definitely went that route because nobody likes to lose alone. That is the rule of thumb. If you could choose not to lose alone at any point, you'll have way more fun. Even if you didn't fully learn the game, you still have a partner to lose with, or just a normal random, right? So for at least the Dungeon Fighter Online community, we find that newer players that come into the game that are kind of like, oh, we want to be good at the game. We try to send them through like, hey, come play in like a 1st to 7 where you can go back and look at your matches. And it's just for fun, but it's to gain experience because maybe you don't know the character. Or what we'll do is we'll say, hey, you played in a tournament, you did pretty well, but like, let's try to get you under some people's wings. Let's go do an open lobby, ask questions, different things. So I think there has to be more of a community speaking for the newer players, instead of it always being like, well, you got to ask one of those top players eventually to get that match and get that ass beat. And I mean, that's old school mentality. I'm always going to be that way, but I try not to. I would say with certain communities, I try not to push a newer player to fight someone who's so well experienced that either they sandbag or there's nothing to learn.
Which doesn't feel good. Which doesn't feel good.
Oh, not at all.
Someone, you're like, oh, you're not playing for real. So it's like that kind of in time that makes things worse, right?
Yeah. I always love seeing new players fight each other, and then to see who's doing the best, and then give them that little bump up to fight against a mid-level player. And then that other person who's like still struggling, they might go ask that new player that they were playing against for questions, or they might play them again and say, oh, well, now I'm getting bumped up to where I could be, and play you more effectively. I just think there has to be ways like that.
Yeah, I do like the idea that where like maybe there's some more event side to help push that. It's always been like player and like, once again, I think that's very valuable. But I think also even creating that environment, because half the time people are like, also, what are the common tropes, right? It's like, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm scared to go out and embarrass myself, or this and that. But if like you make it an environment, I know we said shit like safe environment earlier. It's not so much safe, it's just like a bit more of a open environment when it comes to that particular aspect of the game, because the fighting game scene is open. Like you can go to an event and you can ask anybody anything, to be perfectly honest. You can ask them like, oh, what was that, like who's that character, and they'll be more than happy to tell you the character's lore, age, blood type, who they like, everything about a character, because they got mad love and passion for it, and also combos or whatever, right? But sometimes it's still intimidating. Right, it's still intimidating to ask, and also, I think definitely that's definitely something we can work on. It's something that we should work on, because like I said, if we want this to last, new blood needs to come in. And luckily there is a new wave, there is new generations, but with things like 2x scale, they're trying to make that a much easier path to do it, right? And then once that works, and when they figure out what works there, guess what? The rest of the industry is just going to follow suit and do the same thing. All right. I think we got time for one more quick one. This one, I got to understand. It's one word, and it's like something, to be perfectly honest, I have yet to come across myself, because if I did, I know I would be pissed about it, and I'd want to change it, because I just don't think this is just makes any sense. Gatekeeping.
I was going to bring it up earlier.
I haven't come across gatekeeping like that. Well, like I don't know to what degree. Like, oh, you're a this player, don't come here. Like that's like some dumb shit. But like I've never been put in a situation where I was like, that was like, oh, yo, for real?
I think seeding can also fit here, especially if there's like an outsider coming in who's like ranked higher, and then like if somebody's like, wait a minute, how am I playing this guy first? Like if I know that the player's up there and I'm like, I don't know this guy, and I'm not saying like there's ever like between me, I mean I know, but like
you're saying like, yo, you got a bone to pick with whoever seeded that last tournament. If
I'm saying like why are they seeded maybe 5th and have to play me? And I'm like, this guy is clearly from this region. I have to inform somebody. I say, hey, there's a region. Oh, we can fix that. Okay, great. Yeah, this guy's dope. Like he's really good. I'm not saying that I'm gonna say, hey, this guy needs to be higher so he doesn't play me. No, it's more or less like this player is actually a well-contended player. This is very locally, by the way. Like, you'd expect
the other way.
What?
You seen it the other way, where it's like people have gatekept people from like certain seating because of like where they're from.
I can see a potential of it happening locally, not by a TO, but like but maybe even a player, okay. or a player doesn't go to a place or a tournament because they don't want to play that player, or they don't feel like there's any money involved or anything like that. But there were some times where people split the pot, or they'll try to split something, or maybe even throw a game so that because they know. Or how about this? I've seen maybe some situations, or I've seen the potential of a situation where in top 3, 2 of them are friends and the other one isn't. So maybe the person in 3rd place in losers finals might throw because they know the guy who's waiting in winner's bracket could actually win against the outsider. You know what I mean? And then
that sounds more like colluding, though.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. You're right. But it's also still like gatekeeping, because you're like, we know.
But also, you're right. Yeah, you're gatekeeping just due to a relationship, right?
Right.
Just because of that. Yeah, that I've heard so many stories of it.
That's such an old
I've heard of situations.
Though. That's an older thing.
It is. Yeah, like I feel like I don't see it as often, which I'm happy. I don't want to see any kind of gatekeeping. It doesn't. It shouldn't matter. It should matter for any factor. Who you are, where you're from. What you identify as, who you play, what game you're into. It shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter.
Right.
So there should be no factor that should create someone to prevent you from being able to participate.
But I mean, I guess outside of, it's still almost in the games though, right? Gatekeeping.
Yeah.
In that sense?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's still in the games, I guess. Like even that, but yeah, it's such a different thing with the online play, because there used to be a tribalistic with location. If you're going to count it as location, it still is.
Right.
But I don't think it's supposed to. Not supposed to. It shouldn't be like taken serious. Like you want to represent your town, your local scene. Like sure, like that's your tribe. That's fine, but that's natural, because that's like where you're just trying to shout out where you're from and where you're coming from when you're actually making, or when you make it to a major. That's fine. That's entertainment.
Right.
That's not supposed to be like, well, you're from here, so I don't like you. Like I don't rep you. Like no. We're all like still fighting game players. Right. It doesn't matter. We're all just pressing buttons at the end of the day.
But but remember that during like Capcom Pro Tour early days, people would go to other events to get the most points. I think that's a competitive thing, though. Right, and
playing the system.
But is that what type of gatekeeping is that? What type of gatekeeping is the person putting into players? The edit? Yeah, right.
I think we have to like really define the fact that gatekeeping has certain. I wouldn't say it has malicious intent. Usually it does, right? Because like when we've gotten to this point in the beginning, it was more like, oh man, these are the players who are, if they show up, they're gonna gatekeep other players who normally if like they're not around, could make it to top 3, right? At a local, let's say. So looking at like 8 on the break, we knew if Marlon Pie showed up, we knew if like Jay Rosa showed up, Flux, Chris G,
Dharma and shit.
Yeah, if we knew those players were showing up, KDZ, all of them, we were like, all right, top 3 ain't looking so hot.
Yeah, but I might get out of here with 4th place and maybe $5.
But if somebody doesn't show up, like let's just say KDZ wasn't showing up this week, or Dharma wasn't showing up this week, you're like, whoa, I have that opportunity because I can't get gate kept, because that's the pinnacle of what we want to be at,
that
right?
Was the barrier. Huh?
So I think it was healthier back then. Now it's been turned into this like really ill intent thing where it's like, oh, I'm not letting no one by, because even though I'm entered into something and I'm already guaranteed, why would I not stop people from making it through?
Yeah.
It depends what the intent is. I think gatekeeping should be back to what it used to be. You have your almost like semi-pro players that aren't pro yet, but then you have your pro players who are quote unquote pro, right? That are like making the money, doing the damage. They semi-pro can kind of contest but can't, and then you have your below that level of semi-pro where people are trying to break through and they're getting gate kept.
But that's like a healthy kind of gatekeeping, right? Because that's through skill. If it's through skill, that's just like, that's the level. That's where you need to get to next in order to progress. But like you said, that's not with a malicious intent. But yeah. The gatekeeping with the malicious intent, of course, that's
one
the one
sucks,
you don't
dude.
want.
Like,
you don't want that.
Imagine your arch enemy. Like, imagine if I was like Gabe's like arch enemy, right? I always knock him out of every tournament, but I'm always following him to every tournament. I'm like, did Static Gorilla show up? That's the negative gatekeeping that I think people are talking about shouldn't happen.
That's fucked. Yeah.
And it does happen.
It does. Like I said, but luckily I don't think it happens as much. But it's definitely still a thing out there.
There's a lot that I can get in. But for
it's
me,
its own topic.
This not even the gatekeeping, just like in general, the things that I don't like in FGC, and a lot of it has to do with like not rage quitting, but just like talking to me while we're playing, dog. Like stop talking to me while we're playing. But no, it's just funny.
You heard it first. If you play Static Gorilla at all, make sure to be like, yo, did you block that? Like, talk to him like mid game, and we'll see what's up. That's how you get into his head.
He's gonna be like, wake up, DP. How do you know?
Huh? You know, you hate that where they call out their moves like they're in the anime.
Yeah. No, T-Turtle.
He's going for the cross under with scroll. It's gonna hit the other side.
Yeah. T-Turtle's done it a lot, but like me and him, we're cool now. Like. When it happens, I'm just laughing at it. But like other players, they're just like, but I tried it. And I'm just like, or they're just like overly talkative. Even when I'm playing a different game, it's just like yapping. And I'm just like, bro, I'm not even in tournament. Like, I'm trying to just play Marvel 2 on the side. I just lost. Also, don't talk to people once they just lose. That's another thing. But all right, I'm done.
That's just etiquette. Maybe we'll talk about
etiquette is a different thing.
Time.
Yeah,
that's a different thing.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to get
we want to. But we want to hear from you guys. What's the biggest issue outside of the FGC? What are your thoughts? We'll be posting this up. This will be our question of the week when we're coming back to this next week to check up on some of those answers, as well as maybe any follow-up comments here. But make sure to check that out when we post that once again on our socials, our Twitter, Discord, on YouTube as well. So make sure to go check that out. But with that, guys, that is going to be it. That is our return episode. In the books, we are back. We've got more to talk about. Like I said, we got bonus rounds. Be on the lookout for that. We got some extra topics that are going to be releasing this week that you guys are going to want to listen to. Like I said, we're going to be taking a look at Street Fighter 6, talk about some Terry, talk about the CVS collection, a couple other things in there. Some great talks between Capcom and SNK. Me and Static broke it down. Go check it out. It's a bit of a shorter. It's a shorter run. It's not a full episode. Like an hour run or anything like that. So. Something quick for you guys to enjoy. But make sure to check it out. Once again, that's bonus rounds going to be coming out. But that is going to be it for this episode, guys. This has been Double Tap. We appreciate y'all for listening in for another week, the first week of us coming back. You guys make sure to go follow the show at Double Tap FGC on all social media platforms. Make sure to go subscribe on YouTube. We'll be posting up clips. We'll be posting up shorts, as well as on our TikTok. Make sure to go check it out there. Make sure to also follow us on Twitter at Double Tap FGC. Come say what's up there. Tag us on any articles, tech, anything you guys want us to check out. Make sure to tag us on that. And once again, the question of the week and the polls will be on those platforms as well. Make sure to follow my awesome guests as well. I can't even say guests, my hosts. Like, why am I saying guests? We'll have guests. These are my hosts. Make sure to check out Meza at Meza FGC, of course, on Twitch, on Twitter, on all social media platforms where he's streaming when he is not dying.
God, please. I would love that. I'm pretty much still doing my tournaments for DFO. That's coming to a close. Hopefully you get to go to Korea. Maybe. Hopefully.
Nice.
But the biggest thing is I'm running Dragon Ball tournaments. It's feasible. So they're happening. Sundays.
Hey, Sparking?
Starting with the first PC tournament this Sunday.
Oh shit. Well, hopefully when you guys hear this episode, you guys can go check that out and make sure to go follow Static Gorilla at Static Gorilla on all social media platforms, as well as on Twitch.
Yeah.
What you got going on?
Well, just recently covered the Twitch Rivals over there. I was watching that.
Yes.
And probably going to talk about that on a bonus episode as well eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
But I will not be streaming this week unless I find some time. I'll be heading to ECT on Thursday night, heading there to compete in a lot of games. Been playing too much Marvel vs. Capcom 2, so I entered that just
no such thing. No such thing. Shut your damn mouth.
Marvel 3, Marvel 2, Guilty Gear, Street Fighter.
Hell yeah, that's a
we're
good
stacked.
combo.
Yeah, it's fun.
That is stacked. Oh, yeah,
and my brother has a table, so go find Marcos MP Art. We do have a table. It's in driving distance, so it's better. So we're gonna be having a table, and we're gonna be having a good time. Come find me.
All right, go check it out. ECT, baby, East Coast Throwdown is happening. I believe it's the last major Capcom Pro Tour stop. We got some online ones still for the East Coast, Midwest, and the West, but I think this is the last one for America at the moment. So it's going to be stacked. Like you said, the Birds are going to be there. Daigo's going to be there. There's going to be some killers out there for sure. So we're going to get some great matches.
Don't forget, our former guest, Mono, is also running First Attack the same weekend. So
yes, that's right. Shout out to Mono.
Dual watch those episodes. Those tournaments.
We're gonna have to check out those matches for sure. But that is gonna be it once again, guys. Make sure to follow mash.gg/Discord. Join us up there in the Discord. We're gonna be posting up the question of the week. Check out our awesome community there. Those that are also checking up on us to make sure that we're still alive. Yes, we are. We appreciate all the love there. But make sure to stop by, say what's up, post up mods, articles, things you guys want us to check out or just to hang out and just talk some shit. There's plenty of things to talk about. We're eating very well here in the fighting game scene. But that's going to be it for this week, guys. We appreciate y'all for hanging out for another episode of Double Tap. Make sure to stay tuned after the show to hear about the other shows here on the NTB network. But until then, we'll be live with a new episode next week. Till then, peace.